crazy fast. It's a good
Here we
thing.
go.
Yeah. So we're talking about motivation gets you started, habit keeps you going. So this is about sales. We're all about sales. We've got our free tutorial on Thursday. So I guess in my mind is, well, what motivates you to get up in the morning? What's your tapping into your why and your purpose? And why do you need sales in your business? What's the motivation? What's it going to look like when those sales start coming in? So if you can tap into that, how do you create a habit around it so that you get comfortable with it?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great question, and I mean, sales for many people in business is a chore.
You bet.
You know, it's one of those things that a lot of people don't particularly like doing.
Yes.
And certainly there's even fewer people that want to do it really well. And so I would say that the sales process, you know, it can be difficult for many people, but what it is it's that little one step forward towards the goal. So it's the necessary part towards the goal.
Yeah.
So what I would think to keep you, I guess, motivated about doing sales is think of what your big goals are, and that there is not just do one thing and then I'm going to achieve my goal. There's a lot of little steps to get to the goal, and sales is, you know, in business, and then whatever your goals are beyond your business and into your life, because business is generally just a component of getting to what it is you want to achieve across your lifetime.
Exactly.
And then, you know, there's a lot of little steps, and sales is one of those really important steps to get there. So, you know, I suppose what motivates me, getting back to what you're saying, is what motivates me there is an understanding that is getting me that one step closer. Yep. One step closer to the goal.
And it's about chipping it away, right? So, you know, we're big advocates. And hello, Thomas, I can see you on Clubhouse. The thing that we talk about is having big goals that take your breath away, because, you know, big goals, you know, it creates systems and momentum in your business. And so, you know, think of sales. Well, what is the one thing I can do today to contribute to gaining sales, getting sales in the business? And yet there are many parts of a business that we don't always love every aspect of business. That there are aspects of some parts of business that I could do without, but that we know they need to be done, right? And you know, we could go down a whole different rabbit hole. Well, who does those things? Who should be doing those things? But if you're a solopreneur, a new business, a young business, or a business with just a small team, potentially at some point, you as the business owner needs to be doing the sales.
Yeah, and as you say, and it is a really good point, is that, you know, you don't necessarily want to do those things, and who does those things, but, you know, hey, I recall, so just a trip down memory lane, I recall, you know, I had a bunch of jobs, as many of us do, that, you know, things like cleaning and sweeping and things like that, and, you know, did I particularly enjoy those things? No. But why I did them is that, you know, that it was going to get me to the next step. Like, if I did that bit of the job well, then I was going to get the chance to do whatever the next step was. And, you know, as a 10 or 12 or 14-year-old, it was about, okay, how can I get to the next pay rise and the next pay rise? And then within business, you know, how have I built a small business and then get into a little bit bigger business, into a bit bigger business, and just keep those steps going. So you've got to understand that, you know, all of sometimes the really shitty components within what, you know, what's got to be done adds up into getting to the bit that you want. You can't just go to the nice, shiny, flashy bit. No. There is some shitty bits underlying that need to get done. And hey, unless you're super skilled and super talented, hey, personally I wasn't. You know, I knew, you know, I wasn't particularly good at any sports, or I wasn't particularly great, you know, artist or musician, or there was no great passionate thing that was going to get me there. So it was this, what's the bit that other people don't want to do, which, as I said, starts off with some of these, like sweeping floors or whatever, and then got to sales. Like, I spent a lot of time as a very young man commission-only sales. Now, not a lot of people want to do that.
Yeah, that's a tough gig.
Don't sell, don't get paid. But it was a component
there's your motivation, right?
Well,
To a point.
yeah, but the motivation was beyond, it was,
What the
hey,
payment
if
gave
I
you.
can get good
Yeah.
at this,
What the payment gave you.
you know, if I can get good at this, then I can make more money than I would otherwise if I had all the safety nets.
Yeah.
And then that gets me to the next bit where I've got some more money to go and put into the next project and the next project and the next project.
Exactly.
And here I am.
Exactly. And so, you know, going back to what you spoke about was, you know, there may be elements of the business you're not keen on, but, you know, and if sales is one of them, we'll start building and getting the sales, because the outcome of having the sales in is that it enables you to do other things in your business. So maybe you get to a point where you outsource them, or you bring a person in who's an expert in sales, or, you know, can do the sales function for you, or any aspect of business. So, you know, the sales is the fuel for your business. It enables you to do things in the business, and that, as you say, that it's not necessarily the money, but it's what the money can enable you to do, how you can then take the business to the next level, or what other resources can you bring in? Can you start hiring? Can you find more locations, develop more product? There are foundational pieces in business, and sales is one of them, that we all have to get comfortable with and get into the habit of doing.
That's why we talk so much about having those big goals, is because to really nail discipline, to have discipline down, you need to really want something bad. You've got to want it bad enough that you're going to keep doing it repeatedly, even when it's difficult.
Yeah, and I guess, and the good thing is that we've all heard the analogy: you go to gym and the muscle memory is gained. Well, as you know, you might be entering into the sales area of your business and not feeling so comfortable with it, but as you do more, practice, get successes, don't have successes but learn from them, it becomes a more seamless activity that you need to do, right? Easy might be the word you might use, but you get more comfortable with it because you get those wins, and when you're tapping it into why the business exists, and deeply understanding what your product or service will do for your customer and the feeling they get when they experience your product, even if it's coffee, even if it's a tax return, doesn't matter what the product or service is. If you can tap into that and build that memory muscle, you become more comfortable with the sales function of your business.
Yeah, and it's an important function. You can't just get to a size and you're going to have some, you know, outsource someone else do it. It needs to happen from day one. So if you're an owner-operator, solopreneur, you need to really, first of all, recognise the importance of the sales in your business, and that you are totally responsible for that. And that, you know, whilst it might not be something you necessarily want to do, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it until you get to a point where you can, you know, maybe outsource someone else to do it. But you know, you've got to use your goals, your big overriding drivers to be able to give you the fuel to want to keep doing that day in, day out, so you get to the result. It's really important. That repetition, you know, the dedication to that is important. You know, even on the days that you don't really want to do it, which might be more often than not initially, but you know, if you've got to connect to what it's going to get you to, you know, where, you know, it's just one step forward, or even if they're just micro steps, but you just got to keep at it. If you've got 99 no's, you've got to keep going to get the next one. You know, that's the difference between succeeding and not. Like, it's not, you know, people get really hung up on, oh, they were born to sell, or they were, you know, some other aspect of life, or
they have it easy.
You know, more often than not, the people that really succeed weren't. They're the ones that are the most dedicated to the repetition, as you say, the discipline of doing the stuff that they really didn't want to do, but doing it over and over and over again until they got good at it and got to the next point.
Indeed. So, you know, we've got our free webinar this Thursday, so if you want to know more about how to do this,
Sales Month, February is Sales Month here at Navigate Biz.
Indeed. So, sales tutorial this Thursday, Queensland time, 1 p.m. 5 awesome tips of how to become familiar and love sales is what we want to get you in. And of course, what's coming very shortly after that is the Sales Mastery Program, self-paced program that you can really do a deep dive. So that the tutorials give you an idea of what you can do, what you should be aware of, some action items out of that, but dive in a bit deeper, really take control of your sales will be the Sales Mastery Program.
Yeah, hey, we've developed some great programs at Navigate Biz over the years, and you know, sales continues to be the topic that people really struggle with. And if that's you, then this Sales Mastery Program will be one for you not to miss. because it's such a critical part of the business. You know, you can get the other things, you know, you can get all those right, but if you do not have the revenue coming through the business, it's super hard to get everything else. And marketing programs will take you so far. And you know, and we've done some great stuff around marketing and that as well. But ultimately, you need to be able to convert the interest and the pipeline, and the part of that process is the sales process. So, if you're struggling with sales, come join us on Thursday. What's that? 1 o'clock was it?
1 p.m. Queensland
1 p.m.
time.
Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
It was 1 p.m. live and free.
Yeah, that's
live
cool.
and free.
Live and free. And while if any of you are watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button at the bottom. Please subscribe. Click the bell so you get the notifications, and you'll know every time that we're on YouTube and live. So can't wait to see you at the tutorial, and look out on. Well, we're going to be live again in the next couple of days on Thursday, I reckon.
Every day.
Every
day. So hey, don't forget to check out navigatebiz.com. Jump in there, and on every social media platform at Navigate Biz. Catch you around on the next one.
See you there.
See ya.
Ta-da.